All right. Well, welcome everybody to the Bookmap Academy. We took a break last Thursday due to the U.S. holiday here. So we're going to go through what we normally do, but quite a few housekeeping things to go through as well. There's quite a few. This afternoon, it's been a long day. Anyway, for those of you who are already aware of what the Bookmap Academy is, in case you don't, let me just show you the basics here. You can go to bookmap.com, click on the More button up here, and then under Community, Bookmap Academy. So we have a pretty robust Discord community. And we have a coaching and mentoring program within it called the Bookmap Academy. You can read through this. You can apply here and get feedback. You will create content and we will give you feedback. Read through the process. You can get Bookmap for free. You can get the MBO bundle for free. You can become a coach. And you can get data for free. You can even become a Bookmap streamer. All right, so go to check it out there. We have a host of new things. I don't know if you guys saw we launched it today, the email, which was the digest here that we sent. Multibrackets is now for simulation. This has been highly requested for quite a while. I'll demo this for you if you guys like. It's pretty straightforward. You can create scale-ins, multiple scale-ins or however you like, and scale-outs, all within the same the same transaction. All right, so just one transaction, you hit the button, and you're good to go. We have a new TraderMap Pro filter as well. It's kind of an odd one. I'll show it to you as well here in just a second, how it works. But is for correlations. And then we also have the different or new features for the trading journal as well. We have a trading or trade station competition. You guys have probably seen this. You can find it on the Discord channel. And it's about your workspace and your setup. There's some pretty fancy stuff out there. So yeah, check it out. And if you also have a pretty elaborate setup, you might want to upload your photo there. And then congratulations here to the Blue Jacket winners. Cuesta Mundo, first place, 3 months of Global Plus with stocks and futures data. And then Malak, also great content, runner up here, winner 1 month of Global Plus. We have a referral program here, and then Insights of the Week went to Malak as well. He's been making some great stuff. He went through a nice video, and then this image goes along with it, a 2-minute video here, as you can see. We may go over this one today in the Academy as well. So a few other things in here. Axia Futures webinar. All right, so we uploaded this. That was not released in the digest because we had so many different things in there. But I can show it to you here. It is now public. So if you go to our YouTube page and then you go to playlists here, okay, and you'll see it here. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not it. This one here, Axia Futures. In fact, let me click here, and then I'll provide the link for you. There's 2 in here that we have. All right, so let's see here. There you go. I'll put the link into the chat for you. This one we had back on the 14th of February, and then end of the month here in June on the 27th on how to place your stops. Okay, I thought they were both excellent. There's a lot to learn from here. They do some pretty nice stuff, nice work over there at Axia Futures. Their head educator, Richard, very concisely went through not only path to consistency, but also your stop placement and how they address it. All right, so let's move on, and I'll put that into the chat here for you. Axia playlist. All right, there you go. And we can also put this over Discord for you guys. All right. Yeah, and also congratulations to Shark Baloo and Vinny V. We put the challenge out for you guys end of the month in June to up the ante, or about mid-month I think, and saying, hey, you guys are doing some great work, and continue on and see if you can make it into the Bookmap Academy. Well, congratulations, you've been doing great work. You're going to join Robb also this quarter. He was upgraded to the Bookmap Academy. You've got Bookmap for free. Right now, just continue doing what you're doing. That's it, and you can get Bookmap for free. So continue to get Bookmap for free. If you double your quota, you can get the MBO bundle for free as well. All right. So the ball's in your court now. Thanks, guys, for the great work. Valley fan, Alan, you guys are right there as well. We considered you, and it's just not quite yet. I know Valley fan, you did some great work last month or the previous month, and then it kind of tapered off. So I know that you've been busy. You had a lot to do. But you just won 3 months from the Blue Jacket, so you've got a little bit of leeway there. All right, so it's no big deal. Anyway, guys, continue on with your journaling. We'll give you feedback, and you can get Bookmap for free. All right. So let's see here. Let's go through disclosures, and we'll jump in and go through the content. General disclosure, all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, and we'll continue on with this. When you trade with Bookmap, showing your trades, we want you to do this very much so. Because we can give you so much better feedback if we can look at your trades. Okay, so I know that maybe it's a little personal or whatever, but it really helps. It really helps. We can look at and give suggestions based on where your stop was, where your entry was, how that related to the liquidity, the market structure, the volume, etc. So continue on with that. This is also extended to the Blue Jacket submissions. They get special attention if you show the trading from Bookmap. All right. Okay. So that's that. Let's see. I think I may hold off on demoing. No, I want to show the inverse. Okay, so let me show you this here from the TraderMap Pro, this new product in here, a new algo. Now, again, it's for I don't know. You guys might it depends on your method of trading, but we've inverted the ES, for example, and I can show that here. So you can also inverse the price for it. And let me show you what it means in here, because I just want to, since we just released this, then let's go through it. Right. So look here, we flipped everything. Okay. So this is negative 5630 up here. Negative 5620. So it is the reciprocal of the regular chart that you see here. Okay, so here's a move down, for example. Well, here it is a move up. Okay, and then there's another setting in there as well. It is price inverse as well, but you'll see the change over here. Okay, so it is the inverse price up here on the price ladder. Okay, instead of the negative points in here. right? So just wanted to show that with you guys. And then also from the, I'll try to quickly go through it here. Let's see, we need to trade off of this chart. And also show it off of the DOM. You can also trade off of the DOM this way if you like. We'll come up here, and for sim, I just want to show this because I know a lot of you guys are going to be interested in this new product here. Well, we've actually had it for quite a while. We just haven't had it in sim. It was very specific. It was only for rhythmic and live trading. But now we've got it in sim, and it works across multiple products. It will not work on stocks yet, I believe. No, I'm not. No, it will. I believe it does work on stocks. I'm not sure on that 100%. Anyway, let's see. We got DOM up, and let's see right here, trading a multi-brackets in here. All right. So here I set it up with a configuration of take profit at 15, 20, and 30 ticks. And then I can put in the volume in here as well. And then I have stop losses at 15, 20, and 30 as well. And then I just have it for one each as well. And you can see the total take profits matches total stop losses. And then if I come in here and take a trade, for example, you'll note that let's see here. It should be just lit up. And if I take a trade, okay, there we go. So so I entered long here. Here are my stop losses. Here are my take profits. Right now, once you've got these, you can move them around as much as you like. You know, consolidate them, etc. It's up to you. Right. You can see that it also reflects here in the DOM Pro. So here's my position here. Here's my stop losses that I just moved. In fact, we can even move those up again, and you'll see it moved in here on the chart as well. And then you can see my 3 take profits here. Okay. All right. So let's flatten that, and then let's move on. So we've got the coaches in here. Sorry for taking so much time to go through that. We just had a lot to go through, guys. Some great stuff and so many releases. So I wanted to cover some of that with you. Let's see here, Stan. Let's get you going, and let me get your Notion file up, and we'll take it away. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. So we will go through Done Runner firstly. That's the only one that I have, so you can directly go in the picture. So Done Runner is going always, is doing the same setup as usual.
Sorry, hold on a minute.
Yeah, no worry.
No, I'm sorry. I don't need to do this. Okay. Okay, go ahead, Stan.
Perfect. Yeah. And so yeah, he was looking at sell stop. He entered a shot when price bounce between anchor VWAP from cash session and the Globex, and he took his exit where the stops were. Overall, he does the same as usual, and that's very great. You are consistent. If it works like this, just don't change anything. I would just obviously suggest from my part to add more read about the liquidity or even the behavior of the markets to give you more advantage when you take the position. That's the main point for me, because overall you have your setups, you know what you're looking. There's the same checklist every time. So that's the only thing that I can tell you. It's try to highlight the liquidity, for example. Maybe TraderMap Pro will do a great job for GC due to the tin market. Um, and yeah, taking attention to the volume, the relative, or even the dots, um, and that will be actually all that I have to say about it. Um, Maybe enter with more load and scale, but you have your setup, so that's good.
Yeah, it's a few comments like that. I totally agree with you on all of what you said, Stan. And obviously we're trending down. It's hard to see, the information in here. I know that this is we got some hours in here, so it's quite a bit of data. Uh, it's I would like to see more on where it came from over here. But so we see the retracement down or the back and forth, and then it comes right back up and can't get through it, and then you've got your higher time frame kind of moving down like this. So you are shorting on a pullback, basically, which is great. And the relative volume, though, like Stan was saying, like, yeah, okay, there's more selling in here in some of these areas, and therefore we would look for the continuation on down. The buyers can't seem to get through up here. They try one more time. I mean, gold's pretty notorious. I mean, heck, gold will spike like that and then go down. But the so I even see that you moved up your stop entry here. So back up into here. You took it and got in a little bit of chop there, and then right back down to where it came from. You exited. So nice exit back into the zone here. That's great. So in effect, you're playing this range. You've got your structure with your your anchored VWAP, you've got some of the other market structure, but you're playing it back into and taking a profit back into Scott zones, which I know you have been. That's the way you trade. So it just seems a little different in this one. We've seen some other ones from you, which it was great to see because you didn't have winners in some of those. And why? And I think it was because the order flow was not matching with your trading structure with Scott zones, etc. So I think we've got the mic open for you. Let's see if you have any comments. Now, hold on a minute. Okay. Yeah, there you are. Okay. Yeah, you're still muted.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, appreciate the feedback. You actually caught me driving here, so let me just pull over real quick. Find a spot right here. Okay, we're safe. Yeah, so this was a just a reversion trade. As I thought maybe I was gonna miss it because I normally do like the 1 ATR there, where I first put the stop entry. And then as it went up, I know the gold, I don't know, but gold tends to respect the VWAP nicely. So when I saw it bouncing right in between the overnight and the day VWAP, went ahead and took the reversion. Algos and everything were kind of trending south. So when it came back up, I was anticipating to move back down, and this one worked out. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. So, I mean, you were, I mean, there was trend continuation here, down to other areas here, and were you? I mean, I can see you very clearly. Just put your take profit down here and just waited uh, until.
Yeah, for this particular setup, it was a where I'm just looking for it to come back to the zone on a retest, and then I'm out. Um, if I want to jump back in, then maybe on the other side of the zone. But for this particular trade, it's just strictly a reversion trade back to the zone. What I'm looking for.
Right. Nice. So yeah, it's so this one worked out great for you, and it seems a little choppy in terms of the volume. Like sellers clearly here, but some buying. Yeah, more sellers. Yeah, I guess it is more sellers all the way through. But a little back and forth in here. I guess maybe that's a little bit of what gold does as well. But anyway, yeah, nice continuation down to and then you're just looking for playing the next zone at that point, I guess.
Correct. Yeah. Because if I'm following, the rules, once it affirms to the upside, then shorts are off the table once it comes back to the zone. So the only other play would have been is if it ended up turning back north, it could have gone in long. But at this point, I was just looking for the short because that's the way the algos were trending.
Right. Nice. All right. Well, yeah, good one. And I hope this is becoming, maybe marrying this trade structure along with and system along with the order flow is helping you get some better results here.
Yeah. Gold's been working out nice for me. Had a little bit of a rough start today, just getting things going, but I'll probably post one of those later today. But yeah, no, things have been moving. So
Okay. Excellent. Let's see. And we'll move on here. Or anything else, Stan, that you wanted to cover?
But that was the main thing. It's to maybe take advantage of the behavior of the market. Like it just seems like when actually, yeah, you enter with a stop, but it seems like it was clearly when buyers were in control with the last move, and I would just recommend to maybe have more read about the market, like for example the exhaustion on the right side, or clearly the volume start to lower, and then sellers clearly start to come in, and you would maybe have the symmetry, but without um, this drawdown.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Stan, because like you're getting it back into your zone or back into your structure with your VWAPs and your swing up here, but then it chops and you're taking the heat here, and then you don't know if what will happen here, and if it wants to continue. But once it does this and clear exhaustion up here, really nice. No more buying up here. And then you see like that's the small kind of trend line break. You start to see the selling coming in, and then it picks up. So it's a really good point. To maybe wait for see what happens in the structure here, and then look for refining an entry or adding to an entry. So I'll be honest, like boy, I had a kind of a rough week. I may have seen what Stan is talking about in here, and then maybe like I would have felt the heat up here. I may have even seen it here after, especially after it did this, and I see more selling in here. I'd be looking for this move. It does it one more time, and then you get your exhaustion, and then you get the nice move. So that back and forth. But it looks like it didn't phase you. You just kind of like, I'm in. This is my plan. I'm holding to here.
Yeah, so for these reversions, normally I, enter the trade and then I'll put the stop just the one ATR, whatever the ATR is at that time above the trade.
Yeah.
So that's just where it was at that time. Yeah, but you can see the red lines are kind of the stops, but you can just see the ATR dropping as everything's trending down. So just volatility and the swings are drying up as the day goes on.
Yeah. Nice one. Yeah. Any last comments, Stan?
And maybe just to consider adding what you will do if you have something against you that might give you the potential to cut your loss before it hit your stop. Consider to add it in your plan before entering in. Might be helpful to avoid some big losses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as not letting it go and hold ATR, look for signals to get out it sooner.
Yeah,
That's what I hear you
exactly. If you
saying.
clearly see something, yeah, then you don't want to see it against you.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes I'll use the volume pressure imbalance for that. So if you see volume pressure highs or lows happening, and then it come back and retest that area, that's a reason to step on the gas or lighten up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point, and I know that. I mean, I can see over here in the way that Scott handles the risk management is figures it out. You put the risk on. You're in the trade because you got a signal. It's either it works or it doesn't. So I mean, he will take another trade event if he gets another signal. But I don't know if this does account for another signal over in here someplace or in any of these areas over here. But like yeah, I mean, then you can consider kind of scaling, or at least going through and the study, replay this, retrade it again, and what do you think about it? Or just look into some of these things, because I think Stan has some good points there. Also, the in terms of the ATR and the stop, I mean, your risk to reward looks like it's kind of 1-to-1, right? Your risk is up here and your reward is down here. So I mean, if it's a high probability trade and you hit enough of these, it doesn't really matter. But how to get, what Stan was talking about, more of like maybe reducing that risk by when would you get out type of thing. But anyway, yeah, that's all I have in terms of comments.
Yeah, me either. But great job. Just keep posting. You're doing really a great job.
Yeah, I appreciate all the feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, way to go, Vinny. Dune Runner.
Good enough. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Take care.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. So I think that's everything you have, Stan, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So we have some from Jack, and Jack wasn't able to make it today, but we can go over it. And Robb, jump up on the mic. Let's see here. Where are you? There you are.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Hey, how are you doing?
All right, man. Just crunch day at work. So let me switch laptops here. What's going on?
Well, just some feedback here from Jack, and yeah, it's a lot to kind of read through and go through. But I know you also got some feedback on this. You've been doing some great images, and you've been putting in like 3 or 4 images per trade, and kind of seeing the whole evolution of it. Anyway, I thought, and well, we can share this with you, and you can read what Jack had to say on a few of your trades here. but I think maybe it'd be best if I just let you walk through it, and then we can give some feedback to you.
Yeah, sure. And thanks for having me up. I really appreciate the opportunity to come up and talk about my trades and get some feedback. Let's see here. What trade was this? Oh, this is a breakout trade that I tried yesterday on the NQ. So for what it's worth, when I do my write-ups, I break up the images in terms of components. So the first image generally is just kind of like an exploded out view of what what happened before and after, a little bit of context. Then I break it down into signal, entry, and exits. So in this case, what you're looking at is the image that shows the entry mechanic. So prior to this, there'd be an image where there was what I was looking for was a breakdown underneath that range. That blue dotted line is a key level that I was interested in, kind of seeing how the market reacted around. It popped up above it, traded underneath it. I took a short. That short was short lived. And when it popped back up, that's when I was interested in getting long. Um, I took your advice that you had given me a couple weeks ago, where instead of just buying into the breakout, I let it break out, come back, retest, and then continue on its merry way. So that's what you're looking at there. The first entry was a retest of the level that got me in. I think it's that one right there is the first entry, I believe.
That looks like
And
it.
then
It's the second here.
yeah, I kind of place them like I double up. I put one above where it's kind of would be my leg in, and I put one back at the level. Just let them both get tagged or one get tagged, whatever happens. And yeah, just kind of let it ride. So that was the first entry. I didn't really love that this liquidity all of a sudden popped into the book that was lower. Generally, what I tend to see with that is it'll come back and take it before it breaks out. It's like, ah, man,
Really,
that sucks.
you
So I put
find that it comes back and tests this?
sometimes, yeah, my strategies. That's what
Uh,
I'll see is that it'll have that liquidity come back, consume it, and then continue on its merry way. That actually ended up happening on this trade. See how the liquidity moved up? It actually came down and tested it. And so, but I like that buyers were stepping in, and then the liquidity moved higher. So like, all right, I'm gonna hold this trade and just let it go. So that's the entry mechanic that you're looking at there. I love that buyers kept buying into it, just kind of held on to it.
yeah, yeah, and
And
then
then I think there's another image that has the exits on there too.
no, your exit's here.
There's another one. That's the second. There's another one that's
There's
higher.
another one higher. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
shoot.
the runner that got tagged out.
Okay. I'd have to find it in the stream. Is this it? This might be it. Yeah.
No, that's the short, I think, right there. Yeah, that's the short that I took right before it. The
Okay.
trade that you're looking at is the breakout.
Okay. Okay.
But
So
there's an exit that's higher, but I don't know how many points higher, but there's an exit that's higher.
oh yeah, I would just love to see the liquidity up there because this is a really nice strong move here. And yeah, I mean, just a couple of things offhand that just come to mind. Number one is, you know, you have your level of interest, right?
Mhm.
Here, which is great. So you're looking for buyers above that area. And then you've got this high liquidity right in here, and it transacts. And this we see again and again. Like the first retest is typically to that area. Unless this is a really strong move and continues on up, then you get these kind of little moves like this and then a continuation. I mean, typically. But instead, I mean, it kind of tapers off in terms of volume, and you know, it's already moved pretty high here, and then it continues on, does one more move, but it retests right back to that area, and that's where you add it in very nicely here. So it's kind of, I struggle with this one here. Is it's a bit of FOMO. I start to see those buyers in here. I already know they're strong buying. I'm already looking for this move, next one, and then I get caught up in it a lot of times. Um, not all the time. Sometimes it just keeps going, and that's what facilitates my behavior to look for that. But in this case, what I really like, or what I can relate to a little bit more personally, is your kind of objective behavior in here of scaling in. So, okay, you have a starter position just in case. You add in here on the pullback into your level here that you're kind of looking for buyers to stay above anyway. Plus, you have that liquidity in here. And now what I like too is you have your break even indicator right here. So now your break even point is half between this and this. It's right here. And now you just sit in the position and let it roll. You can see it. I can't quite see here. It probably came back to test probably right around this area here anyway. And it boggled around in here for a bit. And it looked like it probably made you pretty nervous.
Oh
But
yeah, I thought I was about to get stopped out. I was like, oh well.
yeah, I mean,
But
because you can see the selling picking up in here. Yeah, I mean, it stayed. I mean, the price action stayed with the stronger move in this case.
yeah,
Sellers tried, and then we probably had the really beautiful stop run here after because of this transactions in here. Yeah, nice stuff.
thank you.
And just what about your runner in here? Tell me a little bit about your decision making for moving your stop up like this.
Yeah, so I it's a little bit based off of previous trades that I've taken where I've just kind of let the stop linger down there and it ends up getting hit or taken out. Um, I I was following. Yeah, go for it. Thank you. I was just kind of basically trying to follow the the money. So I was like just following the volume. So once we got if you see that big volume bar, you kind of see it kind of correlate with the stop even mark. There's a big volume bar like a little bit before 6:50
Here?
a.m. Yeah. So once I saw that big volume kick in, I thought, all right, well, if those buyers get taken out, I'm probably not going to want to be in this trade anymore because it might come down, hit that big liquidity. I don't know what the price is, but that big bar liquidity down there and possibly go through it. So I'm just going to kind of follow up and just protect my profits. So I bumped it up. I thought, nah, it's a little bit too aggressive. And so I kind of took it down a little bit and just left it there. It was a little bit of an arbitrary location, to be honest with you. I was just trying to follow the big buyers and the big volume coming in. Because again, if those traders got stopped out or the price reversed against them after all their buying, probably didn't want to be in the trade anymore.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I kind of I can relate. Like I'm always looking at kind of market structure and just like you said here as well. This big volume in here. Okay, so now if we see sellers trade through that area, and you do, like it's time to get out.
Yeah, and it did. It rolled all the way back down. Sorry to interrupt, but it ended up going all the way back down.
Yeah, nice. So you grabbed the move, you saw something else, and you had a plan on that as well after this happened here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great. That's fantastic to hear. It's something to consider. I mean, we don't see something really nice like this here, but we do see a little one here, like this, higher time frame liquidity here, transacts, and then it really picks up through that. That's probably the stop run as well, and then right back to it, right, and that's where you see the sellers, and they're going to push it through.
Right.
And it's a great area to get out. Someplace in here, I think this is where I can see a little bit of a struggle, or I struggle with it too, is like, okay, we also have this area here, do I look for a bounce off of that? Maybe it's going to bounce, maybe it'll continue on up. But this is where, like, just over time, looking at the data, understanding it, and you're the market's telling you here, you should probably, even up here, and you did. You kind of gave it a little more wiggle room here, just in case, and it took you out, but then it came all the way back down. So, great. This is a good decision.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was aiming. Where the hell was I aiming? It was like there's a large block of liquidity sitting like around. Gosh, it was like 2,900 or something like that. And so that's where I was ultimately aiming to go for. And so, yeah, I just the big mistake that I made with this trade was that after that runner came and it got stopped out, price dropped down to that chunk of liquidity and then just rebounded off of it. It's like a basketball, man. Just like hit it and just boop, bounced right away.
So
Made a higher.
this liquidity here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't. It didn't even go through it. It just that liquidity had completely absorbed price. It bounced off and then it went to my target that I was aiming for with that runner. And so I should have gotten back in. But something I struggle with is I'm on the West Coast, and so I have to get up really early. So there's some times where I don't get the best sleep, and I just not up for it anymore, and I end up calling it.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, that was the trade.
Okay. Yeah, no, some good stuff, and some also it. So for the time frame you were trading on it, these were good. Looks like these were great decisions.
Thank you.
Just some ideas on higher time frames. You've got all this kind of liquidity play in here, and then, like you said, it came down and it just bounced and then went up, right?
Yeah.
So higher time frame, what's the kind of relative volume of this in here, in the higher time frame? Because yeah, I mean, this stair stepping up, I mean, these buyers, this is not, I think even Jack had mentioned that it might be TraderMap Pro. To me, it doesn't look like TraderMap Pro would have filtered this out. This is longer term liquidity. It looks like it to me anyway, that they want to buy. Once this happens, we've got the flip. So your line was spot on, basically, that you had.
Yeah.
So how did you determine that line? I'm just kind of curious.
I think it was black magic, man. I don't know. That line, that line was pretty spot on. It was what was I looking at? I'll probably pull up my Notion doc. I think it was a pre-market level that I looked at. Let me pull up my journal real quick. If I remember correctly, usually my kind of my trading my planning process is I will pick up. Sorry, I'm like trying to multitask here. Where is that it? Is that the day? Oh, here it is. Yeah, it was a pre-market level. I think it was like a combination of like an overnight high and just yesterday's close, or the prior day's close. I think that's what that was from. And
Okay.
so what I'll do is I'll have my like Thinkorswim just normal candlestick charts out prior to trading, and I come up with like a bullish and bearish scenario for the day. And so I'll look for, okay, what are some key levels? That line right there was probably a combination of overnight highs, prior day close, and then just the pre-market, just really putting in some patterns around it. Maybe it bounced off of it, then, did a break and retest, or broke underneath it and retested it, went back down. Whatever it is, there's just action around there.
Yeah.
And so if it's pretty obvious like that to me, then I'm hoping it's obvious to other people who are going to be taking similar decisions. Because ultimately that's what I'm looking for, right? Lines that everyone else is looking at, price points that everyone else is looking at, and doing something off of it. Because ideally other traders are playing that same idea.
Yeah.
Let's see, I got a bigger picture here. A little bit underneath overnight highs. Yeah, it looks like it was just a pre-market level that
Okay.
had a lot of activity around it.
Okay. Well, I mean, that will probably fit into nicely if I turn it over here to Stan and get his feedback. But I think I know what he's going to say about the liquidity and levels. But Stan, if you have any comments.
Yeah, but I think you say quite everything about it. No, that's a good one. As usual, you know what you're looking for, you do it, and that's great to have like as I just said before, like a plan if it goes against you. And in this case, you took some off. And as you said, I think this liquidity wasn't like very algorithmic one. Maybe more short-term liquidity that might be more aggressive. Um, yeah, but yeah, it's a good one. Just for the entry, obviously, I would look for maybe more bias and more short-term liquidity just below it. But still, you nailed it.
Yeah, sure. What do you mean short-term liquidity? Just like
I
more
mean, like just the one that Bruce were highlighting just before.
This in here.
Yeah, exactly. And even like the one that we're just following the price from the left side, and we're clearly like, yeah, below.
Down here.
Yeah, exactly. And we're keeping like adding up, and even like becoming stronger and stronger. Um, so yeah, I think this liquidity is more, yeah, that might be a more short-term and more aggressive one, and less algorithmic. As you can see, even if it chases the price, it's not the same behavior as we can see, like the small liquidity shifting like quite every milliseconds. And I think you can maybe have more thing to. It can be a good confluence when you see that.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it does look like a
But
someone manually moving liquidity.
yeah,
So you would say where you would wait for that to be a little close. You use that like as a place to enter, or are you just saying like it's a nice confluence?
yeah, it's a nice confluence to see like this short-term liquidity really like pushing the price up with this relative volume. And obviously, if it breaks, I would clearly move out directly. But yeah, I would use it as support.
Mm. Yeah, that's what I noted earlier. Like that to me is actually something I've noticed is like a really A plus setup is when you have a key level where there's a lot of participation, and then on top of that you have a large chunk of liquidity step in to defend it. That would have made like a beautiful that would have been a great entry. But yeah,
Yeah,
cool. Thank you.
thank you. Great job.
Thanks.
I think you just took the words out of my mouth, Rob. I mean, I was about to say exactly the same thing here about how um, this is a fractal here basically, and for those that want to trade on higher time frames, I mean, uh, look at your key levels and look at the order flow around them. I mean, clearly the market is telling you something when you see this kind of liquidity like this, right? And you see this kind of move and break through a key level. You get the retest here; it does not break below that key level, and you get the continuation move. You get another retest, but it's still holding above that key level. And these, um, exactly what you just said, Rob. I mean, if you start to see like you notice your A plus trades are setting up like that, you can even consider longer term trading around some of those levels. One thing that we, you know, say in the webinars and in here in the academy, like keep trading, trade a lot, because look how much you can learn, and then you'll start to see like, well, I don't really have to do all that. Like I can also just like, you know, wait for some nice trade A plus trade setups and hold it for maybe let it run for the day. I mean, this might have broke. I don't know what day this was. This might have broken out and went to, you know, all time highs for the day or whatever. Um,
It did. Yeah, that was yesterday. It
and
uh
and
it pulled back pretty tough, but yeah, eventually it ran up to like 2,900 or whatever it went up to.
yeah, I mean that's amazing. I mean, like, and that relates back to what we covered here, what Richard covered in the breakout, and how to kind of place your stops on the breakout trade in here, and you know, he's looking for this going to all-time highs, and just move your stop up. You know, here's the entry in here, and then you know, he doesn't even have a target. He just lets it run. And then once he starts to see like these key levels right in here, so yeah, go watch it if you haven't, guys. And this key level in here, this is where it traded. You see there's going to be support here already. So now you can move your stop up to you know, that area here, and then just hold this and just let it go. And doesn't he's looking for this running until the close, basically. So on days like that, like, you know, it's a consideration. And we've got the content right here. So, you know, go check it out, go for it. And maybe this is something that you know, you want to look at or consider in the future. I would just say though, like, this is fantastic to see because you're trading a lot, and look what you did. You entered here, you averaged in here. Here's your stop management down here. You know, you're like, okay, and I'm going to put it right below this liquidity here, just below that, and I'm going to hold it there. So, you know, how much you can learn and how much quicker you can learn from doing, you know, multiple trades, but then this can parlay into longer, higher time frame trades as well.
Thank you.
Right. Let's see. Jack also went over another one in here. Oh, and then also Moby gave you some pretty good feedback as well on this. I don't know
Yeah,
if you wanted to mention on any of these in here.
yeah, sure. So this trade right here is a short that I took right before that breakout. Aside from like just drawing key levels, I also have two basic scenarios that I'll look for, or identify, and then have an idea of how to trade them. So in the pre-market, if I see a trend like the NQ and ES were doing this day, what I try to look for is possibly a fade to the VWAP. I kind of see that pretty often, and it's usually just a little short-term play, especially if it's against the high time frame trend. So in this case, you know, as we all know, aside from today, whatever the heck was going on today, but you know, the past couple of days have been just a rally. So I was looking for either a breakout or a short, and the short played out for me off the beginning. And so just took a short here. I had another entry. There's two entries. That first bubble kind of notes that I just cut it off. I didn't realize it's a little bit further out. It was basically the dropped underneath the level, came back, retested. The same concept as the breakout, just flipped the opposite way. Got in, got my runner. The first bummer that I didn't notice is that I partialed right into support. When I set the runner, that support level wasn't there, and I just was a little minor distracted. So was a little kind of caught me off guard, so that's why I moved my first take profit. I got a little nervous. I thought, oh man, there's a good chance I could hold and it'll rebound. And so I took a first partial to cut some risk because the trade changed with that for me, and then we got the move. Unfortunately, my next target got missed by like a few points. It sucked, but whatever, it was fine. And so I tried to move it up in case it came back down, and again it missed it by just a few ticks, and then it ran up and took out my target, or took out my runner, my stop. And then I eventually took the other side and took the breakout. The one thing that I noticed here is I've been trying to pay attention more to sweeps. That's just something I've been a little bit more conscientious of as a pattern. And I put on the sweeps indicator. I'm not doing anything with it yet in terms of having it influence my trades, but I just did notice that once my target got missed, we got that sweeps indicator, and then from there it just ran up.
Yeah, interesting one. So I mean, great management. I mean, so you probably got out at around break even, or maybe a small loss. But
This one was a little minor. It was a little bit above break even, not too much, but it
okay.
was a little profit.
And it's not break even because it's break even. Like it's you had your reasons here, for getting out. Especially like, well, maybe after a sweep and you see this liquidity up here, and and you see that volume come in from that buy side. So I could see what you're looking at there. But it's a little hard to I don't know the higher time frame context, but you can see also this setting up pretty nicely for that rebound later to the upside that you took. High liquidity, high liquidity, high liquidity, high liquidity. Doesn't trade to this one here, but you start to see those buyers come in. So these are all buyers in here, and then sellers don't take it lower, and then comes back up to your key level here, and then breaks out through it. Yeah, but yeah, as soon as the that buying stops, I mean that selling stops, then maybe and look at the structures potentially here for managing your stops, and that's what you did basically. Yeah, nice management, I think, in my opinion.
Thank you.
And then I
Yeah,
also like you're looking at the sweeps here, and also here's your retest back to here. Very quick NQ does that, and then but then it continues. Here's your sweep again, but then continues, and yeah, you'll see that a lot, but just can't overpower the buyers at this point. Sorry, I
yeah,
cut you
exactly.
off.
No. I don't even remember what I was going to say. I think I was going to probably just a little bit of context for whatever it was worth. Prior to this, price had broken out of that key level, and then there was a pretty decent amount of selling volume that pushed price back underneath. And that's my breakout, fake out kind of thing, where it's like, all right, the breakout failed, so everyone trying that breakout should be getting stopped out or freaking out, one or the other.
Okay.
And so trying.
So that happened over here someplace.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, in the Discord, you'll see multiple images, so you could see the volume um, of what I was looking at for there. But again, I also knew that this was going to be short-lived. I wasn't aiming very far with this,
Yeah.
especially against the high time frame trend. It was probably a bad idea, to be honest with you, but
Hey,
I couldn't help myself.
I love it. I really I love seeing this because look how much experience you're gaining by trading frequently. And then once you kind of get a feel for the way that you trade, you can trade on any time frame basically. It'll change maybe a little bit, but the concepts are the same. Yeah, it just goes back to what I was saying about that could parlay into your higher time frame trades. And you protected yourself here. Yeah, I like this one. Kind of cracks me up, but it's like, oh, so this was a little bit of user error here, right, on your
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Because you got
Yeah,
the
I wasn't paying attention, and it happened so fast too. I otherwise I wouldn't have partialed right in front of all that liquidity.
yeah. Well, if it worked out, it would probably it might set a bad habit. Anyway, yeah, it went right against you. But again, like the sellers have moved it away. There's your fake out, breakout, breakout, fake out, whatever.
Yeah, either or is fine.
Stan, what do you think?
No, but yeah, I think again, like you say, everything. No, that's a good one too, and I think Moby tell you a lot of things about sweep. Um, so hope you learn from him.
Yeah, definitely in the brief conversations we've had on Discord, it's been pretty
That's
awesome.
true. Yeah. Yes. Sorry, that's true. Then I'm not trading Nasdaq, so a bit difficult. Yeah, and just like it seems where you took yours off. Yeah, that's a great point with what you said now. And it's true, like with the order flow, I don't know, like Bruce, if you can highlight when buyers just pull back on the left side, just at the beginning.
This
Yeah,
one?
exactly. Yeah, there. Yeah. It seems like at this time there were liquidity that got filled. Like I don't know if we can consider it as an absorption. Yeah, exactly. But still, we had like more volume at this time where clearly liquidity were. Then sellers came back, and we can see like clearly the exhaustion.
Right in here.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if I would maybe lower my stop and trying still to play the trade, or yeah, took some off as you made and took a good profit and break even at the end.
Yeah.
But I think you had the move.
That's a tough one. I think. I mean, you can see it. This is again like when you trade from the chart. We got it all in front of us. He made this decision based off of like, oh God, why did I do that? And then, well, maybe I should take some off here. It's giving me a chance. I don't know if it's going to retest here and then break out. And then this exhaustion happened after he got filled.
Yeah, true.
And then he's also got this stair stepping down of high liquidity. This is a beautiful little setup actually. So you've got your exhaustion and high liquidity here. It looks like a spoof, but looks like maybe they got filled on this one here. And then you get the continuation move down. Comes right back and retests that spoof area here. But it continues on into that high liquidity and this high liquidity down here as well. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you didn't know that beforehand. But
and then you save some profit, obviously.
Yeah, and it was really just to take. It wasn't so much the profit; it was just to take some risk off. Because at that point, the trade kind of traded. The trade changed up for me. Because when I entered it, that liquidity wasn't there. You can even see that liquidity right underneath it, like how it starts off a little yellow and starts to get redder and redder. That wasn't even there either. So it was pretty barren to the downside. So I thought, oh, that might be nice. This could be a good reversal to the VWAP. And for whatever it's worth, that's just a pattern that I see pretty often is the pre-market has a nice trend, it gets away from the VWAP, and then right off the open, it will reverse back down to the VWAP, and then who knows what happens after that. but I usually try to take that if I can, capture a quick move in my favor, and sometimes I can even be done 5-10 minutes into the day, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, for sure. Um, the Another thing too, I know you guys are doing a lot of the mean reversion, POC, VWAP, you know, reversion trade. Um, I'm wondering, like, I haven't, um, well, I haven't really followed too closely what some of you guys are doing, but uh, like how far does it go before you get that mean reversion? It's like it really stretches um, away from it, and then at what point, are you really, is it really hammering you over the head that it's going to mean revert? Because a lot of times you'll look at it and go, well, I'm looking for a mean reversion, it should do it. Like maybe let's suppose VWAP was up here, for example, and you saw this move into here, and you're thinking, well, it's kind of done like one ATR, maybe, I don't know. But if it does another ATR, now, is that enough? Like, is there some sort of study you have on that? Now, if you do, because at that point, now you're looking for maybe some exhaustion or trap traders, and then you're really looking for the buyers to come in. And you don't really see a lot of buyers here, to be honest, but nonetheless, you get the move pretty high up here. But yeah, just food for thought on that. Maybe save some some early stop outs on the mean reversion, because a lot of times it's like, oh, I'm looking for a mean reversion trade, doesn't do it. Oh, I'm looking for a mean reversion trade, doesn't do it. Oh, I'm looking for my last try on a mean reversion trade, and then you make it all back.
Yeah.
But
Well, that was today. I mean, I tried. Today was a little rough. I tried a couple of those reversion trades. Basically, I was looking for the NQ to bounce off of overnight lows, and as we saw, it that didn't happen. Just sold off the entire day, which really caught me off guard. But yeah.
Yeah. So well, anyway, let's see. I think we covered it all.
Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic new tool. Way to introduce a new tool. I think what are you talking about in here?
Oh, he's talking about the sweeps.
Oh, the sweeps, right? That's right. Yeah, with Moby. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, great. Moby was on earlier and had a chat with him, but it's like 3 or 4 a.m. his time, so it's too bad. We'll try to do maybe a morning session sometime or something. He's just he gives such good feedback. All right. Let's see here. I have a couple of things to go through as well, and DNT. Also Bookmap Academy, and let's take a look in here. All right. So, and I think you're in here, right? So let's see if we can give you the mic. There you are. Yep. And just some really great documentation again, and really like the what we're seeing, like with the checklist, putting these pieces together. You're studying it. It is a conscious effort here, looking at your things and then being able to reflect and assess off of it. So I don't know, DNT, if you want to kind of walk us through the setup here.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing well.
Good. Baby just woke up too, so we'll see how this goes. If she starts crying, I'll just hop off. But no, this was today, actually. Yeah. Okay, so this this was today, so we had strong trend down. Um, strong trend down, couldn't see no stop, couldn't see no bottom, right? But um, man, this thing went all the way down to location. Oh, I'm trying to think. So, okay. Yeah, the previous point of control. So yesterday's point of control. And I was looking for more continuation down, and I had lower targets. But so what happens is, all right, there's conflicting context here, right? So we have a strong trend down and potential naked volume point of control reversal structured trade. Now, when I'm saying reversal, I'm not saying that I'm going to take this trade. The trend is down. So when in a situation like this, I look to enter on another. I look for the reversal up to a point where I can potentially enter another short to come back down and participate in the momentum and the trend still. Now, so I was able to kind of identify like this location and also identify balance, and luckily I was able to kind of identify it early today. And what I'm practicing working on is, see, when something like this happens, I need to pull out the mean reversion trade book, like my plan, my mean reversion plan, or my balance plan. So when I see this balance, I want to wait, usually for like an outside edge. I'm anticipating a reversal here, so it's possible that this could come up higher than I think. So I'm basically on alert, looking for locations where the market might come up to, where I might be able to get in another short back down. So these naked volume point of control reversals were pretty nice to have. And if you're in a trending market, you can use it to align in the direction of the trend for another decent trade. And whether it'll actually continue down or not, who knows? It might just go down to the bottom of balance, which is exactly kind of what we saw today. Where I was looking for targets lower, I was looking for 3,600, I think. Yeah, I was looking for 3,600 for a target lower today. It made it to about 3,630 or something like that, but there was a lot of important levels down there at the bottom. So I mean, I can see it stopping there. It was pretty helpful to see this, but yeah, that sweeps indicator Rob was just talking about is it's pretty helpful. It's nice to see, especially with the stops indicator on the market pulse, and the sweeps indicator on the market pulse. So when you're seeing like aggressive sweeps, like aggressive buyers like that, and those aggressive buyers are not stops, those aggressive buyers, then what you're seeing most likely is potentially new buyers, or potentially new aggressive buyers. I think that's kind of how I perceive it. A lot of times we'll see sweeps, but those sweeps will a lot of times just be stops coming out. So it's nice to differentiate like new aggressive buyers versus buyers that are just getting stopped out. So it's showing some buyer interest around this area. Not saying that it's going to stop here or really like reverse here. It's just a structured trade to kind of help me identify what might be happening and what I can do. So I'm not selling the bottom. I can probably wait for some type of reversion back up somewhere where I might be able to participate.
Yeah, makes sense. It can be tricky. I know for volume profile point of view, it it makes pretty clear sense. I mean, you can see your profile over here, and then look at this big gap. Now, this is almost always the case that your book sweep or this strong move through an area. That's usually where you get your single prints and very, very little volume. But the question is, and I think you're spot on. Look for your pullbacks into areas in here like that match up with your profile. And then what does it accept? Does it reject? So the question is, in these areas in here, what's the order flow? Right?
Okay.
And what does it look like? Where do you find an opportunity? Because we don't know, right, what will happen up in here. You can see it kind of chop around in here, but like it's always an issue of like here, for example, now this turned around and came back down. But the risk here is that you have pretty strong volume. I mean, you have your bars in here. Look at your volume bars, right? A lot of
No, yeah,
lot of
a lot
buying.
of buying.
So the risk is here that this will come into your single prints up in here and just do that, right? So how do you try to like curtail that risk? And I think just look for some kind of microstructural or something in here that clearly in hindsight it's so much easier, of course, but you do have like some things. You do have a lower high, and it looks like not so much buying here after big buying, a little bit more buy, or a little less buying, and then a lot less buying, and then sellers here. That's looking pretty good. For the sellers to then try to ram it right back down into the kind of lows of the day down in here. But it's that's an art form, looking for that pullback in these areas in here. But you got the right idea with the you got your checklist. Try to make it as objective as you can. You got your sweeps, you got your checklist. You know what you're looking for. It's a very clear setup with the looking for your naked VPOCs in these areas in here, and then continuation of that trend. So Stan, it was a mouthful for me. What do you have here for DNT?
I'm just wondering why the heat map is off, and if it's easier for you to read without the heat map, or
That's a good question. Well, I man, that algo is killing me on the ES, and I have another screen that actually has up TraderMap Pro. Thank goodness for that. It's so nice to see it. Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I did look for liquidity. In hindsight, I did look for liquidity later after I was like making this post, and there wasn't really a whole lot going on. But yeah, it was the ES algo that was recently introduced has been pretty hectic.
yeah. And so you're using TraderMap Pro in Confluence for the liquidity, or just in this case you decide to turn it off and try to see if it works even without?
No, I just have it off here, but I have another screen with the TraderMap Pro on it. Let's see. Oh, you got it right there. So it's like at 11:50, I think, Eastern.
In here?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So this was that volume sell side that we're looking at, right? Yeah,
I believe so.
Looks like it, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
so yeah, it did really chop around in here for a long time.
for a long time.
Yeah,
And lucky.
still sell side
Uh-huh.
more or less. I mean, it went above here, but it failed, and you do see more sellers again.
So just to be clear, that negative volume point of control reversal that I have posted there is a reversal to go back up. And so what I was posting was so is yeah, if you know, if that reversal actually plays out, I'm looking for something above where I can participate in the short. But like it doesn't look like that reversal really played out. It looks like, you know, there was a lot of sell. I highlighted a large sell delta area, and anchor VWAP did actually break. So there was a lot of potential for that. For I think for the market to go and reverse and make to go up higher than it did, but it didn't. Selling pressure was still very strong. So yeah, it was a tough one, but and it did stay in a strong balance. So that trade there was helpful in this trend down to help me identify balance early and pull out the mean reversion playbook for that. You know. As far as the liquidity goes, though, that EF algo is pretty is pretty killer. And I wanted to take this screenshot stand with the market pulse down there. But yeah, I do like the TraderMap Pro. It would be nice to start trading from that TraderMap Pro. I don't know if that's ever a consideration or not.
It is. It's in the works, and it's been escalated on the roadmap. So,
I'm sure.
I mean, especially due to this ES. NQ's been
Yeah,
doing it, but then the ES now, for sure.
yeah, that'll
So,
be really neat. I'm
yeah,
excited for that.
yeah. So, yeah, trading from it, as well as, oh God, there was something else. And then offering stops and icebergs on it as well. So
Oh wow.
it's challenging because the map is totally filtered, but to offer
Yeah.
stops and icebergs, it has to be unfiltered. So we're mixing two different data streams into it. So it's a little tricky. And then to be able to trade off of it, it even makes it more tricky because it's a synthetic instrument. Anyway, we're working on it. Yeah, but anyway, good stuff. Yeah, looks like a challenging one for sure. Kind of messes with your mind a little bit. I mean, you do have things in here like that can be helpful with the volume. I mean, this big volume here relates exactly to this big volume here, right? That you see. The and then and then you make a higher low here, right? Sellers. I mean,
Mhm.
I think you're right. I mean, it kind of made almost an equal high here, and this volume's huge. And there's not a whole lot of selling down here. This looks like it should reverse. It's setting up nicely, and then you get this little kind of pattern up here, and then sellers come in and take it away. It's a very faint one, to be honest. Like I mean, typically what we see is like these single prints that we were talking about earlier. You do get like leg one of the reversal. You'll get this other one like this, and then this one maybe some variation of the pattern, and then you get the continuation. So it did a very slight one up above here, and then it rejected, came back down. But I mean, typically
Um,
with this kind of
yep.
momentum, you'll get a bigger move out of it, and then you get your kind of M pattern. Sorry, going to say something?
No, those are great points. Just like balance is, it's very difficult to trade. And part of my plan, when I was saying I pull out the mean reversion plan or the balance plan or whatever, is to minimize your trading and slow down and really kind of ease off the gas and wait for locations. Before this, in the morning, I mean, you could have shorted pretty much anything, and you probably would have been fine. but when if I can identify balance early, if I could identify balance early, I can probably ease off the gas a little bit, and I can start. Yeah, it is tough, like you said. So
Yeah, it's a challenge. I mean, like for all those reasons, I mean, I would still I'd be looking for that this area to fill in, you know, but it
yeah,
didn't even come close. The you do have, I mean, your profile here is, you know, you do see the skew here though, right? So it's balancing, or point of control is at a higher level in here. That gives, I don't know how much credence or insight that gives, but at least we know the point of control is up here at a higher level. It's not, it's doing something different, basically. I mean, on those big trend days like this one up here, you can see it's the point of control, or that high level is in kind of in the middle, or at the bottom. So I don't know, from what I've seen in your volume profiles on your trending days, you get your big profile, flattens out, get your big profile, you know, flattens out, you get your big profile and flattens out, and either the points of control are kind of either in the middle or at the low end. They're not at the top, like this. So it looks like end of day type of thing. Anyway, for what it's worth. All right. Yes, Shark. I don't think that's going away anytime soon. I don't know, but it's clearly an algo. I mean, you can see it. Let me just show you guys it, if you. I know everyone's well aware of it, but we can see it not on TraderMap Pro, but here. Zoom out and back in. Okay. Yeah. You actually stepped it up a little bit there. But yeah, look, here's your large lot tracker right here. 3 algos running, and they're all the same size. So, I mean, clearly, you know, I mean, very highly likely it's the same player. And then you can see it up here. Actually, it did something a little different. We see 2 here and then 1 down here. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder if that gives us any insight to anything. You know, typically it's you see them not skewed whatsoever. They're very, yeah, like here you can see it on this side, and then on this side they're equal, right? So it's a condition of the market that we're displaying what the market is giving us, and that's that. We'll just have to filter the heat map with TraderMap Pro. Yeah. Stan, I'm sorry if there's any. I've been really blabbing a lot. I'm sorry. Why don't you have anything more you wanted to cover with DNT?
No, that's perfect. I think you said everything. That's great. Just continue, and I'm sure you are improving a lot.
yeah, I'm really trying to minimize it now after testing. Oh man, just Bookmap just keeps coming out with so much stuff, but I've really been loving it, and I really need to minimize now though. If I feel like all this stuff has been really great to see and to learn, but now I have been, as we talked about, I think a couple of times, really trying to take what we have here, what we have in Bookmap and the tools. The market pulse has been really good, and all this other stuff. So yeah, it's really coming together now. It's just time to hone it all in.
Yeah, excellent. All right, well, yeah, thank you, DNT. And let's see, I've got one more. And Malak, we've been wanting to cover you here. I know it's kind of end of the day here, but you have a video on this, so I thought I would bring that up instead. I think it does a better job in here, where you're whoops, that's not what I want. Hold on a minute. That's not the one I want. Shoot. I know where it is. Hold on. It's on here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
Shalomo, I'm gonna do a trade recap on Bookmap replay mode.
So yeah, it was really nice. A couple minute long video. Usually when we look for videos, we say, look, it has to be like a minute or less. We just can't go over more. But yeah, you had looked for absorption on the way up. You're talking yourself through this trade, and then I think correct me if I'm wrong. I think you traded it on the way up. You saw the reversal. You traded it on the way back down as well. But let's open the mic, Malak, and join the stage if you have an open mic. It's welcome to the stage. Great stuff you've been doing, and congratulations on your runner-up in the blue jacket, and also being in Insights here.
I think it said that he's at work and he won't be able to interact, but he is listening.
Okay. Well, yeah, I would actually, I think the video goes through it pretty nicely, what you're looking at. You've got high liquidity in here. You're pointing these things out. You see the volume really starting to come in, and you're targeting your, I think this was your VWAP down here. And you're just looking for the move into that and taking your profit down there. Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, we can see this algorithmic activity in the heat map. Yeah, I can't recall. Maybe it wasn't a profit here. You were looking for a runner out of it. Yeah, I can't recall exactly. Anyway, yeah, this was it was good stuff. Is great content. You've been making some really good stuff. Keep it up. Happy to give you feedback and hopefully make these thresholds here and become Bookmap a part of the Bookmap Academy and get Bookmap for free. Yeah, good stuff. Guys, let's wrap it up. It's been almost a little over an hour and a half since we started a little bit late. So other guys in here that we didn't cover, let's see. Just to jot down here, AJ, welcome back. So we got AJ, Steven, we got Crash, we've got Vinny, Valefan, and Robb. We haven't gone over you for quite a while. Rubicon Trader, Shark. We've went over you quite a bit, Shark, though, recently. Let's see here. CMJ, I think we went over you last time. It's been a couple weeks now, right? Let's see, is anyone else? I think that's it. Yeah, we'll put you on the list for next time. And anyone else interested, fill out your spreadsheets. That's what we're going off of. I know, Crash, you haven't been doing much. Valefan as well. You guys said so beforehand. You're moving, you're vacationing, whatever it might have been. Understood. show trades from the Bookmap chart. You'll get 2 times the credit, and we'll be happy to go through more. Stephen, I know you mentioned that as I talked to you. We didn't get to any of your trades though this time, but we will next time. All right. So until next time, guys. Thanks everybody for coming. Good session. Congratulations to the winners, and also for Bookmap Academy with Vinny V and Shark Baloo and other guys knocking on the door there. Yeah, we've got a good thing going here. Let's keep it up. All right. Thanks everybody. We'll see you tomorrow during the All Markets webinar if you're around, 10 a.m. Else, we'll catch up with you next week. All right. Yeah. Thanks for coming, everybody. Bye-bye.